Vype Live, formerly KMAX Sports, one of the largest broadcast networks in Texas and the nation. Check us out at Vype, VYPE.com. Vype is the leader in high school sports broadcasts. We've been doing it for 15 years.
3-13, back in, another reverse, breaking tackles, dives to the end zone, touchdown Rangers.
16 seconds, really close in the corner. Rotates to Wilson, she fires the three. Oh my God, it went in! Cavaliers pull ahead by one.
Log on to Vype, VYPE.com. Vype Live, the leader in high school sports broadcasts. Wait, hold on just a moment. It's true that Vype Live, formerly KMAX Sports, excels at high school sports broadcasts, but did you know that Vype Live does more than sports? Vype Live does band recitals, academic events. For more information on how Vype Live can broadcast your event, email us at Vype, VYPE.com. For high school sports coverage second to none, discriminating sports fans, booster clubs, and student bodies will tell you Vype stands above the rest. Vype can provide your school and your entire school district with complete digital video streaming and live broadcast coverage at prices that fit your budget. Find out more information at Vype, VYPE.com. VYPE.com. Hey, buddy, you say you wish someone was covering your favorite high school sports teams? You just couldn't make it to the game and you need to find out now what's going on? Well, my friend, your prayers are answered. Go to Vype, VYPE.com and hit Find Your School to see what Vype is saying about your great community. See for yourself why Vype is the leader in high school sports coverage in Texas. Check us out at Vype, VYPE.
We are excited to bring you today's junior varsity matchup between your Highlanders and the visiting Regents Knights. AJ Revelo here. We are live at Yeager Field on a gloomy, if you will, afternoon. It's a nice cool 72 degrees out here, so emphasis on cool, as I should not have worn shorts, with about a 30% chance of rain. So we're going to hopefully knock out 7 innings before that creeps around, if it does. But it's a beautiful day for baseball as the Knights are set and getting loose. Your Highlanders out on the field getting loose as well. Defensively, Greenberg's going to be up on the mound here to start out with Suter behind the plate catching. Over at first base will be Werner. Second base, Harrell. Third base, Carter. Shortstop will be Jarrett. Left field, De La Garza. Matthews over at center field, and right field will be Higgy. To apologize, I didn't get any first names from either coaches as we go for Regents here next. So we'll be going by last names here. We will have, as far as batting goes, an extra hitter. So 10 players will be scheduled to bat on our lineup. So we'll touch base on that when we run to it. As far as for the Regents Knights, you're leading off here in the first. It's going to be Penrod in the 1 spot. M. Miller in the 2 spot. Robert over in the 3 spot. Abernathy batting cleanup. Kim in the 5th spot. B. Miller, number 6. Hicks, number 7. Carmen, number 8. Rondetti, number 9. And Self rounding out the end. As it looks like both teams are ready and we are set to get everything underway. Before we do, going to give a quick shout out to our Vype Live spring sponsor, Academy Sports and Outdoors. For all the ways you love to play, Academy Sports and Outdoors makes it easier than ever to gear up and have fun out there. So Penrod making his way to the mound now. Greenberg looking nice and loose, and we are set to get this JV matchup underway. First one, fast and high, gets called for strike 1 against Penrod as he watches that one goes by. Penrod, center fielder for the Knights, looking to hopefully lead off on the right way. First one, he takes a big crack at it, knocks it foul. Count goes 0-2. the pitch. Swung on and a chopper towards short. Jarrett with a quick throw to first. Not in time as Penrod legs that one out for a leadoff single for the Knights. Catcher Miller heading to the plate here for the Knights. Penrod hanging tight over at first. Greenberg getting the call. Got to watch Greenberg warm up a little bit in the pen behind the home dugout, and he had quite a few pitches with some mustard on it that sounded like it hurt as Suter was, they were having a good time out there warming up as a quick time is called, and some discussions are going to be made there in front of the mound. Greenberg looking like he's keeping an eye on Penrod over at first, so probably just a little discussion, getting ready for a throwdown over at second possibly. So first pitch to Miller here, and there goes Penrod as Miller smacks that over towards short. Nobody's going for it. It's going to get into left field. Penrod trying to leg out third. He's going to make it, as that one was a little bit too high over to Carter. And Miller is going to make it all the way over to second base on a double. Penrod's going to sit tight over at third, as Miller actually took a crack at the first pitch he saw. My favorite matchups of the afternoon is the pitcher's duel, as Robert is going to make his way to the mound for the Knights. First pitch is going to be fast and inside, called for ball one. Count's going to go 1-0 here for Robert. Love the pitcher's duels. As an opposing pitcher, it's sometimes easier to see what's coming, a little bit quicker to recognize, if you will, as that one's going to stay outside the plate for ball two. That one's going to catch the box there for Greenberg. Called strike one. 2-1's the count here for Robert. He's got two runners in scoring position. A big swing as that one's going to run down the first baseline and go foul. Count goes even at 2-2. So no outs here, top of the first. Knights making quick work as the leadoff and the number 2 guy both get some hits and make their way on base. Greenberg working with no outs and throws that one. Count goes full, 3-2 here for Robert. So full count, no outs. Runners at second and third, as here's a pitch from Greenberg. That one's going to be just a bit outside for ball 4, and off goes Robert. For bases are now loaded for the Knights. And making his way, shortstop number 4, Abernathy. Batting cleanup with bases loaded and no outs. Greenberg. Fast and down the middle. Old Faithful as that gets called for strike one. Greenberg getting the call. Swung on, that one's going to be chopped high and behind. Over the net it goes, and count goes 0-2 here for Abernathy. Greenberg ahead in the count now. Trying to get a slider on the outside. Abernathy not going to bite. Count goes 1-2. As Greenberg still ahead in the count. There's the pitch. Swung on. That was going to be chopped behind for a foul. Count stays 1-2. That one's going to be high. It's going to go past Suter, and here comes Penrod in for the score, as all the runners are going to advance. Count goes even 2-2 here for Abernathy. And Penrod is able to score on the wild pitch, so the Knights take an early 1-0 lead over your Highlanders. So count still 2-2 here for Abernathy. As that one swung on, and it's high towards the Regents dugout. It's going to go over the top and hit the top of the dugout. Count stays even at 2-2. As Abernathy's doing a good job of working his pitch count for Greenberg. As it's still no outs here in the first, and he's creeping on 20 pitches as that one's going to be high and high level there for Abernathy. Count goes full 3-2. As that one's going to be a little too low below the knees. Gets called ball 4, and Abernathy gets walked over to first. So back where we were when Abernathy was first at the plate. Bases are going to be loaded. Miller this time, though, he's going to be over at third. Robert at second. Abernathy at first after the walk. And up comes first baseman number 8, Kim, for the Knights, as he watches that one high and outside for ball 1. Greenberg with the pitch, a chopper towards third. Carter getting a hand on it, not making a move though as the runners come through and no throws made. As Miller comes across. All runners advance. And Kim makes his way to first on a single. We'll give him an RBI single on that as the Knights take a 2-0 lead here early in the first. Number 12, Miller, up to the plate. That's going to be B. Miller, our first Miller. Center is M. Miller, so we'll call him B. Miller. Watches that one go by for strike 1. That one's going to be in the dirt. And Suter did a good job of getting in front of that one, not letting it go by him. As Greenberg with the pitch. A big swing and a miss by Miller. It's called strike 2. Now, I got the count 1 and 2, but our board says 2 and 2. Doesn't seem like it. As Greenberg takes a quick time, wants to get some clarification on what he's going to throw next, it looks like. As Coach Nunez takes a quick time, he's going to come out and talk to our head official. As Suter comes out and talking it through, and I think there might be a question on the bat for Miller. They're going to take a look at it. Quick inspection. As we get clarification, that's good. Just looked a little too thick there in the meat of the bat, if you will. So I got the count at 1 and 2. Our scoreboard has the count at 2 and 2. So we'll see what happens here on this next pitch, as that's a swing and a floater towards Greenberg. It's going to go over his head, and it's going to be a single for Miller, an RBI single, as all the runners advance again, and Robert is able to make his way across the plate for run number 3 for the Knights. That was going to be low and inside. Called ball 1 is our extra hitter, if you will. It's going to be number 11, Hicks, for the Knights. Bases loaded. That one's going to catch the plate, called for strike 1, so count goes even 1 and 1 here for Hicks. As it's still top of the first, no outs. As Greenberg is throwing some bullets. That one's going to get high. It's going to go over the net and over the big wall behind our main seating area.
How you doing?
Called for strike 2. Count goes 1 and 2 here for Hicks. Greenberg still working with bases loaded and no outs. As that one's going to get swung on and tipped foul. Count stays 1 and 2 for Hicks. Greenberg getting the call. And gonna pull off and check on Miller over at first. So Abernathy taking out at third, Kim at second, and Miller over at first after the single. With Hicks at the plate as here's the pitch. That's going to be low and inside. Count goes even 2-2 as that one's going to go for ball 2. Greenberg with a pitch. Swung on and a nice chopper to third. Quick tag at third, and here's a throw to first. Not in time. Over first baseman Werner as the runners are going to advance one more time. As we're going to say, Abernathy made his way through. Kim is going to get tagged out on the fielder's choice for out number 1. Miller is going to make his way all the way over to third after that wild pitch. And Hicks is going to be over at first. So runners at the corners now as here's the pitch. Swung on and missed as Carmen, second baseman number 2, is at the plate for the Knights. Carmen takes a quick step out of the box, gets the call from third base coach. And we're ready to go. Hicks is over at first. Miller is over at third. As Greenberg steps off again, does a quick check over at Hicks at first. Oh, what's the count here for Carmen as he smacks that one over towards third. Fielded well. There's a throw to second. And the second out at second. Trying to get throw over to first. Not in time. As Miller makes his way across. Hicks will be thrown out at second. Carmen is going to make it over to first on the fielder's choice. So just 2 outs here now. Regents with the 5-0 lead. And up comes out Rondetti, right fielder, number 5 for the Knights. As he's got just Carmen over at first and 2 outs now. Still top of the first here for the Highlanders as Greenberg's working his way through. That one's going to get hit and chopped up high. It's going to come right behind me. And oh, almost pegs the vehicle behind us as we got some folks parked in the back. No damage done though. This count's going to go 0-1 here for Rondetti. Batting 10th for the Knights is going to be number 16, third baseman Self, as he's in the batter's circle getting warmed up if he makes it. As that one was high inside and that was fast. Count goes even 1-1 here for Rondetti. Greenberg still trying to work his way out. As he steps off and gets reset. Greenberg with the 1-1 pitch. Quick throw to second, trying to get the runner stealing. Unfortunately, Harrow's going to have to step off on that one, and Carmen will make his way to scoring position with the steal. That pitch was a called strike for Rondetti, so it counts 1-2 now. As Greenberg is one more strike away from getting out of this inning. And there it is as Rondetti takes a big rip, and he's going to go down swinging for out number 3. So almost batting through the order as the Knights. 5 runs come across as they have an early 5-0 lead here over your Highlanders. We'll take a short break. We'll be right back. You're listening to Highlander Baseball right here on Vype Live.
Vype Live, formerly KMAX Sports, one of the largest broadcast networks in Texas and the nation.
Check us out at Vype, VYPE.com.
Vype is the leader in high school sports broadcasts. We've been doing it for 15 years.
13, again, another reverse. Breaking tackles, dives to the end zone. Touchdown, Rangers.
16 seconds. Really close up in the corner. Quick pitch to Wilson. She fires the 3. Oh my God! It went in. Cavaliers pull ahead by 1.
Log on to Vype, VYPE.
And Robert out on the mound here to pitch for the Knights as the bottom of the first is set to get underway.
I mean, when I say go over, we'll pick it up.
As our crowd behind us is getting a little larger. And Little do they know we can hear their conversations. So third baseman Carter is set to lead off here for the bottom of the first for the Highlanders. Jarrett will be right behind him. And pitcher Greenberg batting third. Werner batting cleanup. Second baseman Harrell batting fifth. Center fielder Matthews sixth. Suter, the catcher, batting seventh. De La Garza, left field, batting eighth. Our extra hitter Bullion will be batting ninth. And Higgy will be rounding out the end at number 10. As it looks like Robert is almost finished warming up. We are set to get this one underway. Highlanders going to be looking to get the bats moving and get them warm quickly, as they are behind after a big top of the first for the Knights, and they trail 5-0.
Oh, I know you told me that you got about 5 more bottles of wine that we can choose from. Yeah. Invite Christopher over. Have him make dinner for us. Yeah. Why not? I mean,
So Carter, watching the first one go by, a little too high, gets called for ball one by Robert.
just have a set menu and let him make the Friday and lunch some weeks. Yeah. Why don't you talk to him about it? Okay.
Robert with the second pitch here to Carter. That one's going to catch the plate, get called. Count goes even, 1-1.
Yeah, and I've got a full kitchen that. Yeah. Okay, I'll talk to him.
Here's the third pitch, gets swung on by Carter. He gets a little piece of it. Count goes 1-2 for Carter.
Whack that thing, buddy boy.
As Robert gets set, it's a 1-2. That one's going to be inside, and Carter having to do a quick thrust out of the way. This count goes even, 2-2. Jarrett in the batter's box, or batter's circle, if you will, for the Highlanders. As Carter gets a piece of that one, a big one. It is going to go foul, though. Count's going to stay 2-2 here for Carter.
I have two sitting right here.
Robert with the 2-2 pitch. As that one had a nasty drop for Carter. He's going to go down looking for out number one. Shortstop Jarrett making his way to the plate now as Greenberg is getting loose in the batter's circle. First one to Garrett's going to be low for ball one. Jarrett now waiting on the pitch. Robert taking his time. As that one's going to get thrown and catch the plate for strike one. Counts even at 1-1 now for Jarrett. And that one's going to land in the dirt in front of Jarrett. And we'll get called for ball two. And this counts 2-1 now for Jarrett. Robert getting the call. Here's the windup in the pitch. As that one is low, and it's actually going to get underneath the legs of Miller there. Count goes 3-1 now for Jarrett. As you see Werner there get some hustle and make his way to grab that loose ball. So 3-1 count now here for Jarrett as he's ahead. As he takes a rip at that one, gets a piece of it. Goes right behind him though. Count goes full now, 3-2. Quick stoppage there as Greenberg came out to get that loose ball. As that one gets swung on and it's hit towards second. It's going to drop straight into the waiting hands of shortstop Abernathy for out number one. Or excuse me, out number two for the Highlanders. Greenberg here batting third. And this is a first for me, as both pitchers are batting third, and right behind them, both players that are batting cleanup are number 4. So number 4s are batting fourth, and both pitchers are batting third. As my favorite matchup of the games is the pitcher's duel, as that one gets called for ball 1 for Greenberg. 2 outs as Robert is working his way through the top of the order. Greenberg taking a hack at that one, doesn't quite get as much of it as he wants. Gets called for strike 1. That one low, and Greenberg gets a piece of it. Over to Abernathy at short. The throw to first is in time for out number 3. As your Highlanders go down 1-2-3 to end the first inning. Regents Knights still with a 5-0 lead. We'll be right back, folks, for the second inning. You're listening to Highlander Baseball right here on Vype Live.
Vype Live, the leader in high school sports broadcasts.
Wait, hold on just a moment.
It's true that Vype Live, formerly KMAX Sports, excels at high school sports broadcasts. But did you know that Vype Live does more than sports? Vype Live does band recitals, academic events. For more information on how Vype Live can broadcast your event, email us at Vype, VYPE.com.
Highlanders out on the field defensively here as the top of the second set to get underway. Regents Knights with a 5-0 lead after Robert took down the top of the order for the Highlanders. It's looking like we've got a little change up here as it's looking like Carter is going to be over at first base. I'm trying to see where Werner's at. I don't see him out on the field. He may have gotten moved to the outfield somewhere. I take that back. Bullion's going to be over at first base. Well, there might have been a quick switch up, and I think Werner might be batting as the extra hitter. Right? Yep. Carter's going to still be over at third. So we'll say Bullion is going to be over at first base now. Werner is going to be the extra hitter. And we'll leave it at that. Number 16, Self. Bottom of the order here for the Knights as he takes a big crack at that one. Doesn't get contact. He's down to the count 0-1. Greenberg getting the call. Pitch. Trying to get him to bite on that one as it dropped low. No go though. It's called for ball 1. Counts even 1-1 now for Self. And Self taking a big crack at that one as Greenberg went right up the ladder. Counts 1-2. There's the 1-2 pitch. That one's going to be outside. Counts even at 2-2. Greenberg not liking the first. Takes the second. Here's the pitch. As that one is really, really high. Might have gotten away from him just a bit. Count goes full 3-2. Here's the 3-2 pitch. Swung on, and that was going to get chopped foul. Count stays full 3-2 here for Self. Greenberg getting the call. Here's the throw. Another high pitch for Self as he doesn't bite on that one. As he gets walked to lead off here for the Knights. Top of the order now is Penrod. He's going to make his way up to the plate. As the Highlanders take a quick time and out they come to give a quick chit-chat with Greenberg at the mound. Self over at first base now, so a runner on first here for Penrod as he singled his last at bat in the first inning. Penrod. Quick throw by Greenberg over to first, trying to get Self sleeping, not going to be there. As Self is able to make it back safely. And we get reset. Penrod getting pretty close there to the base. There's a throw as Self takes off for second. There's the throw from Suter to second. Nice throw, just not in time.
Good throw.
As Self makes his way to scoring position with the steal. That one was called a ball. So counts 1-0 here for Penrod. As Penrod gets a piece of that one, that's going to be deep left field, and getting underneath it and bringing it in is De La Garza. There's a quick throw to second to keep Self on as he goes past number 44, Harrell, second baseman. So Self is able to touch up and make his way over to third. Not before De La Garza, though, with a nice job backpedaling. Gets underneath that one for out number one. Miller, catcher for the Knights, up to the plate now as he swings and hits that one towards left field. De La Garza getting underneath it, making the call. He's not able to get a piece of it as Self is going to make his way over and across the plate. And Miller is going to make his way to first.
Yeah, he did.
On an error by De La Garza, so we'll give him that one as he made an excellent play for the first out and then had an error here for the second out. Robert, pitcher, up next. He was walked back in the first as off goes Miller. Suter getting set to throw. He's going to lose it, though. So no play is going to be made, and Miller will just stroll on over to second base. And that one's going to be in the dirt as Miller makes his way to third. As that one got away from Suter again. No contest made for Miller as he's able to steal his way around. So it counts 1-1 here now for Robert as he swings and chops that one foul for strike two.
I wish Reese had gone for the cross, except he couldn't because it's baseball. Yeah. But better than playing football.
And a courtesy runner, if you will, is going to come in for Miller.
I got 2 trials coming up, one at the end of May and one at the
I believe it's Penrod now. As that one gets swung on by Robert, it's going to be high towards second. Harrell underneath it as he brings that one in for out number 2.
Oh, good try, buddy. Way to get it on him. Good job, Reese.
Abernathy. He was walked back in the first. He's going to make his way up to the plate now.
The one in May is just like a 2-day.
As that one's going to be inside
What kind of law do you do?
for ball one.
Civil trial law. Any kind of civil trial law, I do.
So Penrod is courtesy runner here for Miller as that one gets swung on and chopped foul. Bullion trying to get underneath it. It's going to go a little too deep, though, behind the dugout of the Knights.
One I've got in,
Count stays 1-2. Excuse me, count goes 1-1. I apologize. Count goes 1-1. Abernathy gets a big old nice piece of that one. It goes over the outstretched hands of Carter over at third. Got a Garza to it. He's going to hold on to it and make sure that Abernathy doesn't get more than one base. Miller able to come across. So Abernathy with an RBI single. The Knights extend their lead 7-0 over your Highlanders. As Kim makes his way to the plate. Runner on first, that's Abernathy. As he singled into a... Ooh. All right, I was watching that one. Got away from me there. That gets called foul for strike one for Kim. Well, anyway, Kim singled back in the first and was thrown out on a fielder's choice as he was trying to make his way to third. 2 outs. Counts 0-1 here. Greenberg with the pitch. As making a dive is Abernathy. He's going to make it in time. So Abernathy with the steal. As Greenberg is ahead in the count now, 0-2 against Kim. Here's the pitch. Not able to catch the inside of the plate there. It gets called for ball one.
Recorded messages and everything he said I did, I had proof that I had not done it. So
Abernathy took a big lead and trying to make his way over to third early. Is going to be tagged up as that one went right towards Carter at third. And that'll do it here for the top of the second for the Knights. They're able to bring 2 more runs across and extend their lead 7-0 over your Highlanders. Robert is going to make his way out to the mound for the Knights, and Werner is set to bat first. We'll take a short break, and once everyone's ready to go, we'll be right back, folks, for the bottom of the second. You're listening to Highlander Baseball right here on Vype Live.
For high school sports coverage second to none, discriminating sports fans, booster clubs, and student bodies will tell you Vype stands above the rest. Vype can provide your school and your entire school district with complete digital video streaming and live broadcast coverage at prices that fit your budget. Find out more information at Vype, VYPE.com. VYPE.com.
You're set to get underway. The Regents Knights with a 7-0 lead over your Highlanders. As extra hitter is what we're going to call him now, Werner, even though he was labeled as first base. I'll have to get on to Coach Nunez about that. Nah, I'm not going to mess with him. But Werner is going to make his way out for his first time at the plate. Robert getting warmed up as he put down the top of the order. 1-2-3 back in the first. The Highlanders look to hopefully get the bats a little bit hotter than they were then. And keep things moving. Robert, first pitch to Werner. He's going to swing, and a big swing at that one. Can't make any contact, though. Goes for strike one.
Let's go 4. Let's go 4.
So Werner now down to the count 0-1. Robert getting set. Here's the pitch.
There you go.
And Werner getting a piece of that one, going towards third. Werner trying to leg it out. The throw towards first is in time. As he was almost able to beat that one out for out number 1. Second baseman Harrell out to the plate now. His first time at bat here this afternoon. Highlanders are going to have to most likely start playing a little bit safer here at the plate. His first one is going to be high, and a big swing by Harrell. Can't make any contact. Goes down for strike one. As the pitch count for Robert has yet to hit 20. As Harrell gets a big crack at that one. Goes to short. Here's the throw, and Harrell unable to leg that one out. Is thrown for out number 2. Robert getting through the order quickly so far and really conserving his pitches, as that was pitch number 20 for him. Greenberg has over doubled that already. Matthews, center fielder, up to the plate now to face off against Robert. As here's the first pitch. A swing and a miss by Matthews, goes down for strike 1. That one is going to catch the plate as Harold doesn't offer anything, or excuse me, Matthews doesn't offer anything to it, and he goes behind the count 0-2. Matthews down 0-2 now. Got to protect the plate as he takes a swing at that one and misses. As he goes down swinging for out number 3. And Robert makes out beautifully for the Knights, as that was only a 7-pitch inning for him. As he is still very low in his pitch count here for the afternoon. Suter will be due up next here at the bottom of the 3rd for the Highlanders. As Greenberg makes his way back out to the mound. Left fielder Miller set to lead off here for the 3rd inning. I'll change that for you folks there. There you go. Top of the 3rd. Our next matchup for the JV team is going to be on April 1st, April Fool's Day, against the Texans homeschool here at Yeager Field. And so far, just 2 more games scheduled, as the second of those 2 will be on April 8th here at Yeager Field against the Texas homeschool as well. So 2 more games so far. We'll see if we can get some extra ones scheduled for the JV team. We'll see. Just keep up to date on the athletic page for the St. Andrews High School, and they'll keep you up to date on what's coming around, or talk to your players. And I'm sure they will have a better idea of what's due up before any of us do. As Miller again set to get away. He singled back in the 1st and was one of the runs that came across. As the Knights still have a 7-0 lead here, top of the 3rd. For those listening, if you have any questions, or if you'd like to say hello, let us know who you are, who you're listening for, and where you're from. We do have an email set up. It's going to be aja.vype@gmail.com. Nice and easy. VYPE is the Vype, so aja.vype@gmail.com. I'll be checking periodically, and I'll be happy to say hello and answer any questions or give any shout outs that you may have. As Greenberg gets set here for top of the 3rd. Pretty high in his pitch count at the moment. As mine is have an unofficial count of 56 so far, as that was swung on and a chopper towards first. And Werner in front of it, and he legs it out, and he unassisted out for Miller, as Miller swings at the first thing he sees. Unassisted for out number 1, and Werner back at first base now, as we got to see Bullion there last inning. And talk about a nice stop by Werner and a heck of a hustle to get back to the base for out number 1. Hicks up to the plate now here for the Knights, as a time is called, and Suter's going to make his way over to Greenberg, and they're going to have a quick chat. And he said, "I want a burger after the game," and he said, "I guess so. You're good. We'll make it happen." So hamburgers after the game, apparently. As Greenberg gets the call. Hicks takes a swing at that one. It's going to get chopped foul for strike 1.
Yes. I didn't know where it was going.
Greenberg with the call from Suter. Here's the pitch. As that one's going to be way outside as the slider got away from there. Count goes even, 1-1.
There it is.
And that's going to catch it there for strike 2. As Greenberg's ahead in the count now, 1-2 here to Hicks. And there's a hit towards Werner. He's going to wave everybody off, get underneath it, and trying to get his glove under it. Can't do it. He is able to recover it, though. Look, it dropped out. And almost able to get out. Number 2 is Werner. Hicks will make it to first on an error. And we are going to give that error to Werner over at first. So 1 out, 1 runner on. And here comes Carmen, second baseman for the Knights. He made it to first on a fielder's choice back in the first as a throw to first, right? As a throw to Werner. Trying to tag Hicks. Not in time. And that one's not going to catch the box he was looking for. It's called for ball 1. Second pitch.
You got it, Mark.
It's called for ball 2. As Greenberg is behind in the count now, 2-0 to Carmen. Hicks getting a pretty big lead over there at first as that one is swung on and tipped behind us. It's going to go over the protective wall. Count goes 2-1. So just 1 out here. Top of the third. Carmen at the plate. Hicks over at first. Greenberg at the mound as there's a pitch, and Hicks gets a piece of that one. It's going to go behind me, and it's going to hit the batter's box warm-up cage behind me. As the count's going to go even now at 2-2, and looks like a flat roof. I don't think it's going to roll off if it hasn't yet. So counts 2-2 here for Greenberg as that one is going to catch him sleeping. And Carmen is going to go down looking for out number 2. Rondetti, right fielder now, making his way to the plate. He struck out swinging back in the first. Greenberg looking to do the same as Hicks is over at first. There's a throw now as Suter has been hinting that he's going to throw that. And that was the first time he finally did. Pitch doesn't catch the plate though, so count goes with 1-0 here for Rondetti. As that one is low and Rondetti makes an offering. No contact made. Counts even at 1-1. So Rondetti leading them high and finish him off slow. That one just down the middle with some heat for strike 2. As Greenberg is ahead in the count now, 1-2, and one more strike away from getting out of the inning without giving up a run. Hicks is over at first though, and Hicks is going to go for it. That was going to get popped foul, and it'll hit the net right above me. Count stays the same at 1-2, and Hicks is going to have to trot his way back to first as he took off as soon as Greenberg wound up for the pitch. See if he does it again.
All right, I like it.
Greenberg not having to worry too much about Hicks over at first as he's just going to take care of Rondetti himself. As that one breezes by him. He gets the swing, no contact made. And that's going to be the third out here at the top of the third. Bottom of the third. About to get underway here. Highlanders still trail by a score of 7-0. As Greenberg had a very good looking third inning. Suter due up to lead off bottom of the third for the Highlanders, followed by De La Garza and Bullion batting behind him. Robert up on the mound still for the Knights as he's still looking pretty comfortable up there. He had a very, very quick second inning as he only threw 7 pitches to get the 3 outs he needed at the bottom of the second. Highlanders are most likely going to look to hopefully try and stretch out the pitch count a little more and start wearing at Robert, because he is looking pretty fresh and pretty comfy. Miller makes the call out and gets everybody to throw their practice balls in.
What did you say the other day? Oh! That's you out of bail. What was that? Because I'm a... He left. You gotta hold on to the bat. Oh my God.
So Suter now
Vail, yeah, he came back from Vail.
out at the plate. His first time at bat as he watches that one goes by for ball one.
Go 1-3.
Here's the 1-0 pitch. And that one's going to catch the plate. As Suter watches it goes by again. Counts even at 1-1 now. And Suter gets a piece of that one, goes right past the shortstop into left field. Suter's going to stroll on over to first base with ease, as he'll get credit for the first hit for the Highlanders here this afternoon, as De La Garza makes his way up to the plate with Suter over at first. Bat still.
Hold up, get the bat. Who's on deck?
As as Bullion makes his way out, is, oh, I'm so sorry. He was excited to get to the plate. He wants to get loose and he wants to get a crack at Robert. Not before De La Garza though, as Suter's over at first. De La Garza at the plate. I got no outs here. Bottom of the third, as here's the first pitch, and a bunt. That one's going to go high. It drops and it's going to roll foul at the very last second as De La Garza put the nitrous on, and man, he was blowing his way through the first. That one will go foul for strike one.
Let's go, you got it.
Now the Knights are going to have to creep up a little bit as De La Garza got a sneaky bunt in there. Suter will still be over at first as he has to walk his way back. And here's the 0-1 pitch. Another bunt. This time, though, couldn't make contact. Count's going to go 0-2 now here. De La Garza getting the call from third base. Robert looking over to get the pitch. We'll see if De La Garza shows another bunt here. Down 0-2. I don't think he will, and he isn't. This time it's high, and off goes Suter to second. He is going to make it in time with the steal. Miller with a nice throw, though. Over to second. Able to keep that one in. So counts 1-2 now here for De La Garza. Suter is in scoring position at second. And here's the pitch, and he's going to swing. As he got a piece of it, he didn't get a piece, excuse me, it was a drop called strike, and he's going to go down swinging for out number one. Suter still over at second. And Bullion here now, up to the plate, his first time at bat. He has been antsy to get into the batter's box, so let's see what he's got. As the first pitch is going to be a slider to the outside. No offering made by Bullion. He's ahead of the count now, 1-0. There's the pitch. That one's going to catch the plate. He'll get called for strike one. Counts even at 1-1 now.
Let's go, Tommy.
Bullion. Wait for the pitch from Robert. Swing on, and
there you go.
Gets a piece of it. It's going to go over the net. A little security dent in the back. Count goes 1-2 now as he makes his way back over to the plate.
Let's go, Tommy.
So 1-2's the count. Robert, a little more pitches than he did the last inning. And just one out. With a runner in scoring position here for the Highlanders. And Robert is going to step off, and Suter will stroll back to second. No throw made. And we'll just reset and do it again. Here's the pitch from Robert. That one was inside, and they're going to call that one as Williams going to go down looking for out number 2. Wieland is going to make his way out. Welland, excuse me.
Let's go, Bo.
So I had Higgy up there. We'll see.
There
As
you
he
go.
swings and getting pieces of that one towards left field. It's going to drop right in front of the left fielder.
Way to go,
Suter rounding
Bo.
third. He's going to back up though as
Awesome.
cutoff man was able to hold on to it and come in. Welland with a single now will be on the edge at first. Suter will be on the other edge at third, and top of the order due up as Carter
Hit scores a run.
is making his way up to the plate. And as I feel a little precipitation starting now. I did not bring my umbrella. So Welland over at first, Suter at third, Carter at the plate. 2 outs as Carter takes a rip at the first one, doesn't make contact. He goes behind the count, 0-1. If Carter's able to get on base, Jarrett, shortstop, will be due up next. As that one's going to be low and inside. Counts even at 1-1, and it's picking up just a little bit here, folks, so we may have to cut the broadcast just a tad short. Let's see if it goes away. There's Robert with the 1-1 pitch. And that's going to be high
After what?
for ball 2.
Yeah, I've looked and I don't think it's going to start.
Counts 2-1 now here for Carter.
Yeah, that's like at 11 o'clock.
2 outs. Robert with the pitch.
Get
That
on,
was
get
going to
on.
be a little too high. And Carter's ahead now, 3-1 in the count. Suter's still at third. Welland over at first. Here's the pitch. And that's going to be inside, and Carter will take that one. As he'll make his way over. Oh, shoot. As he'll make his way over to first base. And I apologize, folks. The water is messing up my scorecard here. Hopefully it'll stop as we're having a quick convo on the mound. The powwow. Jarrett up on the plate.
Trying to throw that high fastball.
Trying to get somebody to bite as he went up the ladder on that one. Carter not giving anything though, willing to take it.
It's a hard ball to hit.
So bases loaded for the Highlanders.
Particularly when they're not pulling up.
As this inning is the first time they've had runners on base. So looking to capitalize as much as they can, but 2 outs. And Robert doesn't have to worry too much about the runners now, just about the batter at the base, at the plate, excuse me. There's Jarrett. Jarrett popped out towards short back in the first after working the count full. First pitch from Robert, and that one's going to peg him in the chest.
Way to go!
As Jarrett will make his way to first as he is hit by a pitch. Carter will go to second.
Let's go!
Welland will go to third, and Suter will stroll across as the Highlanders are on the board now. They still trail though 7-1. Greenberg now at the plate. He grounded out towards short. That one's going to be in the dirt way in front for ball 1. So still 2 outs. Bottom of the third, excuse me. As Greenberg takes a quick time, base is still loaded after Jarrett was hit by that first pitch he looked at. Robert with the pitch. It's going to be really, really high. Greenberg goes ahead in the count now, 2-0. Robert with the pitch. That one's going to be fast and high, but he is going to get the call for strike one. Greenberg still ahead in the count, 2-1.
You got it, Mark.
Welland over at third. Carter at second. Jarrett at first. And here's the pitch. And Greenberg taking a big, big rip at that one. Can't make contact, though. Count goes even 2-2. Robert, one more strike away from getting into the inning with very, very minimal damage if he can. As that one's going to catch the plate. Greenberg will go down looking. As the Regents faithful who are here in the stands take a big sigh, and that will do it for the third inning. Highlanders leave 3 runners on and cannot capitalize as they only bring 1 across, and they still trail the Knights by a score of 7-1. We'll be right back, folks. You're listening to Highlander Baseball right here on Vype Live.
Vype Live, formerly KMAX Sports, one of the largest broadcast networks in Texas and the nation.
Check us out at Vype, VYPE.com.
Vype is the leader in high school sports broadcasts. We've been doing it for 15 years.
13. Again, another reverse. Breaking tackles, dives to the end zone. Touchdown, Rangers.
16 seconds. Really close in the corner. Rotates to Wilson. She fires the 3. Oh my God! It went in. Cavaliers pull ahead by 1.
Log on to Vype, VYPE.com.
Welcome back to Yeager Field, ladies and gentlemen, as the 4th inning set to get underway. Your Highlanders are trailing the Regents Knights by a score of 7-1. Greenberg up on the mound getting warm as he does. Academy Sports and Outdoors, the Vype spring sponsor here for all spring athletics. Get free shipping on your favorite brands at academy.com or get free curbside or in-store pickup at your Academy store. That is Academy Sports and Outdoors. So as Greenberg gets warmed up, 4th inning's about to start. We'll do something I enjoy. It's called This Day in Baseball History. So today, March 24th, we'll do a semi-old one. There's a famous picture that's out on the interwebs if you so choose to look at, but it was back in 1959. Pete Wiesdent took a picture before an exhibition game, played against the Dodgers in Havana, Cuba, where he's in uniform toting a machine gun. The weapon shown in the picture belonged to a rebel from Fidel Castro's Revolutionary Army. You've got some of the revolutionary soldiers there around him as Pete Wiesdent's holding a machine gun. It's a black and white photo, and it's something to see. So that was this day in 1959. Baseball history as the first pitch to number 16, Self. Catches the inside. It's going to be ball 1 there. That one's going to be a little too high. Gets called for ball 2. Self, he was walked back in the second. As he takes a big rip at that one. Doesn't make contact. As he's still ahead in the count, 2-1. Self gets a piece of that one. Over to short with a throw to first in time. For out number 1. As Bullion is back over at first base now. Top of the order now here for the Regents Knights as number 7 Penrod, center fielder, is going to make his way out. He flew out towards left field in the second and singled his very first time at bat back in the first. Greenberg with a high pitch. Looks like he got away from a little bit. Count goes 1-0. And Penrod getting a crack at that one. It's going to go over the outstretched arm of Jarrett. And a nice easy single for Penrod as he makes his way over to first. So 1 out here, top of the 4th. Knights with a 7-1 lead, and here's number 17, catcher Miller. He reached on an error in the second and then doubled back in the first as Greenberg takes a throw over to Bullion at first and trying to get Penrod on the leadoff. Not in time though. Another throw over. Not able to get him. That one was a little bit closer than the first one though. As Miller still awaiting his first pitch here at bat. And another throw back over to first as I think Penrod must have said something to Greenberg about his clean pants, and since the rain just stopped, he's making sure they're not clean anymore. As Greenberg takes another look over there at first. Miller. Here's the pitch. Penrod taking off. Miller gets a piece of that one going down the third base line. It's going to get knocked foul. This counts 0-1. Excuse me. And as soon as Greenberg picked his leg up for that one, Penrod took off towards second. So Penrod with another big lead over at first. There's the throw. Bullion able to get to it. We'll try again. That one was high. Penrod making his way to second. Throw to second is going to hit Penrod in the leg as he had slid in front. Wasn't going to be in time, even though it was a very nice throw by Miller. Count goes 1-1, as that was called for ball one. So Penrod's over at second now. Miller at the plate. And 1 out here. It's Greenberg still working his way out of this one. And almost getting Miller to take a bite at that one. Doesn't get the bat across though. Count goes 2-1. Greenberg gets the call he wants. Here's the pitch. That one's going to hit it for strike 2. Counts 2-2 now for Miller. Here's the 2-2 pitch. As Penrod is going to make his way over to third, and it looked like Greenberg had the drop on that one right over the plate, but maybe still a little bit too high. This count goes full 3-2. As Miller gets a piece of that one. DeLagar's underneath it, and he gets it. Penrod touching up. He's going to make his way and over to home plate with ease.
Way to go, Jaime!
As Miller will get credit for his sacrifice fly for out number 2. As the Knights extend their lead 8-1. Robert up to the plate now. As he takes a big rip at that first pitch he sees. Doesn't make contact for strike 1. Robert, looks like he flew out towards second, back in the second, and then he was walked in the first. As he gets a piece of that one towards right field, that one's high, getting underneath it, and bringing that one in is unable to, as he loses it in the outfield. And Robert's going to round second. He's going to slide into third. As it looks like it was either well under Higgy out there in right field. I couldn't quite see. I apologize, but Robert is going to make it all the way to third on an error. We're going to give the error to right field. So now another runner in scoring position. 2 outs as Abernathy makes his way to the plate. He hits that one high towards right center field. Waving everybody off and getting underneath it for the catch is Matthews.
Excellent work, guys.
As that's going to be out number 3. So it could have been a more dangerous inning ends up with just one run coming across. And the Knights holding on to an 8-1 lead. Highlanders. Getting ready to get their turn at bat. Werner set to lead off here at the bottom of the fourth. Harrell following him along with Matthews right behind him.
86.
The Knights make their way out. Robert's on the mound. He's going to get warm, so we'll take a short break, folks. We'll be right back. You're listening to Highlander Baseball right here on Vype Live.
Vype Live, formerly KMAX Sports, one of the largest broadcast networks in Texas and the nation.
Check us out at Vype, VYPE.com.
Vype is the leader in high school sports broadcasts. We've been doing it for 15 years.
3rd and 13. Again, another reverse. Breaking tackles. Dives to the end zone. Touchdown, Rangers.
16 seconds. Lily pulls up in the corner. Rotates to Wilson. She fires the three. Oh my God, it went in! Cavaliers pull ahead by one.
Log on to Vype, VYPE.com.
Back, folks, to Yeager Field. Bottom of the fourth. Set to get underway with Werner leading off for your Highlanders. Knights with an 8-1 lead. And the Highlanders looking to try to close that if they can. As we watch the last pitch here from Robert. There's a throw down by Miller over to second, which is a nice throw. Werner grounded out towards short his very first at bat. This is just his second time out to the plate. He looks to keep the bats nice and warm as they were back in the third for the Highlanders.
Really?
As they were able to get 2 base hits and unfortunately left the bases loaded.
You got it, Leo.
As Werner takes a swing at that one and misses for strike one. Werner waiting for the pitch as that one gets dangerously close to his side. It almost takes him. Count goes even 1-1.
Good eye.
Waiting on that one and sitting tight.
That's the other thing. We were swinging and saw pitch
Counts 2-1.
early in the game.
As he swings and misses on that one, counts even now at 2-2.
You got it, Leo.
Werner saw something he liked there, but couldn't quite make contact with that
Come
one.
on, Leo. Let's go. You got it.
Robert with the 2-2 pitch here to Werner. And Werner takes a big swing, can't make contact.
Go,
As he goes down swinging for out number one. Harrell up to the plate next. He grounded out towards short. Back in the second. As there's one out now here. Bottom of the fourth. Here's the pitch from Robert.
Good eye. Good
It's going to be
eye.
high and inside for ball one.
See, we were swinging at that.
Here's the 1-0 pitch from Robert. Another high and inside for ball two. Count goes 2-0. And we'll see if Robert brings it low now, as that's 2 high pitches in a row here for Harrell. And look at that. Just like clockwork, a low one is going to catch the bottom of the box for strike one. Counts 2-1 now here for Harrell. No runners on, 1 out. And the Highlanders trying to shrink this 8-1 lead.
Good eye.
As that one was high, count goes 3-1. So Harrell ahead in the count now, 3-1. See if he sits on this one and works a pitch a little bit. Nope, he takes a crack at it. He's going to chop it behind him, foul. Count goes full, 3-2. Miller giving the call to Robert. Robert with the pitch to Harrell as Harrell watches that one go by for ball 4. And Harrell makes his way on base with just one out here, bottom of the 4th, as Matthews makes his way to the plate. He struck out swinging back in the 2nd. Robert checks over Harrell at first. Here's the throw and a big hit towards right center field. Right fielder getting underneath it and bringing that one in, so Harrell will make his way back.
Way to get the bat on the ball. Let's go, Sammy.
Matthews does get a good piece of that one. Harrell has to make his way back to first. And
way to get the bat on the ball.
Out comes Suter with 2 outs and 1 runner on. Suter was able to single back in the 3rd. And was the first hit for the Highlanders here this afternoon, as that one's going to catch the plate for strike 1. Robert with the pitch. Suter taking a big swing. Can't quite get a piece of it, as he's now down to the count 0-2. And Robert not paying much attention over to Harrell at first. Really just concentrating here on Suter. Here's the pitch, and Suter takes a swing and can't quite get fully around it. He'll go down swinging for out number 3, and the Highlanders will leave one stranded to end the 4th inning.
So some of the kids on this team played for the Wings or somebody, but some of those moms over there recognize me. It's like, I can't remember this now.
So top of the 5th set to get underway. First baseman Kim set to lead off here for the Knights, followed by left fielder Miller and their extra hitter Hicks. As we're getting some changes here, I'll try to sneak an ear if I can. As Greenberg looks like he's getting moved over to 3rd. So Greenberg will make his way to 3rd. Here in the 5th. So that'll do it for him after 4 innings, and his pitch count was getting up there. He was right about 84 pitches. Harrell, second base, will make his way over to the mound. Let's see, it looks like, is that Carter? That is, so Carter will make his way over to second base. And Jarrett will stay at short. So, all right, I think we got it figured out. Werner is going to be our first baseman here for the 5th inning. All right, so Harrell now is our new pitcher. We'll get you some stats here for Greenberg as soon as I can. While he finishes getting warmed up, Kim again set to lead off here for the Knights, as he is waiting for Harrell to get fully warmed up.
So that advisory business, we have that
Kim makes his way up to the plate, and here's Harold, our new pitcher. Let's see what he's got set up. Suter, give him the call.
Way to
As
go.
that first one gets swung on, it's going to make its way over the net for strike one. That one's going to get chopped foul there for Kim for strike two. As here's the 0-2 pitch from Harrell. He swings and chops that one towards third. Greenberg getting a glove on it. He's able to stop it, but can't quite pick it up. As Kim will make his way over and on an error. As left fielder Miller is going to make his way up to the plate now. Miller able to single back at the first, and then he lined up over to first base back in the third. As he gets a piece of that one over second, going towards center fielder. It's going to drop in front of Matthews. As Miller will get a single. As Hicks makes his way up to the plate. So, two leadoff hitters are both on base. Hicks, the extra hitter here for the Knights, back up. As that one's going to be low for ball one. Harrell gets the call. As that one's going to get popped up high. Carter getting underneath it and brings that one in for out number one. Quickly a second, and he's able to tag up for the double.
Good job.
So Hicks will pop out towards second for out number one. Quick throw. We'll get Kim as out number two. So Miller, the only lone Knight now up on the field, as that one's going to get away from Suter, and Miller will make his way over to second. So number two, second baseman Carmen at the plate. Counts 1-0, and Carmen gets a piece of that one going towards Carter, and Carter is able to bring that one in, and that's going to be out number three. As Carter gets the work cut out for him there, as he's responsible for 2 of the 3 outs. Actually, we can even say he's responsible for 3 of the 3 outs after that double play, and that's going to end the inning.
So that guy didn't have to run. He didn't have to run.
So Harrell with a nice start. After only 8 pitches, takes down the side, and the bottom of the 5th now underway.
Infield fly. Here we go. Is it that treat certain?
De La Garza is set to lead off here for the Highlanders.
No, we're not going to watch it.
Bullion right behind him, along with it'll be Welland or Higgy right behind him. We saw Welland, although Higgy was on our batting order originally, so we'll see who goes out there. But
Infield fly is a fair fly ball.
De La Garza struck out swinging his last time at bat, so he is 0 for 1 so far at the plate. As a new pitcher is now out, it's going to be number 17, Miller, who was the catcher, is now pitching.
Before 2 are out.
Abernathy, who was over at shortstop, is now the is now the catcher. And
after the ball is touched,
it looks like,
the same as on any fly ball.
let's see,
If the hit becomes a foul ball, it's treated as the same as any foul ball.
we got a lot of moves around.
So
As
that was
it
an infield
looks
fly.
like Robert
He was out either way.
He was out either whether he caught it or not.
Is going to get moved
And that guy got off.
to short or third, so we're going to say he's over at shortstop.
So for the second out.
And everyone else should stay the same. Actually, we got a lot of shifts. I take that back, folks. Robert is actually going to be over at second now. So Robert's at second. And Carmen is now over at third.
Oh, that's what it is. Yeah.
And all should be right in the world. So Miller's out now on the plate. We'll hopefully get some info here for.
Which catches the guy, which means they have to go. And they have waited. That's what.
Robert, as he had a very good showing so far.
That's why they just go ahead and count it as an out. Whether either catch it or not. Because they would act like they were catching it and they'd drop it, and then they would be able to throw out all 3 runners because they didn't advance.
Yeah, okay, yeah. That makes sense.
That's what it is.
Well, your Highlanders still trail by a score of 8-1.
But like if it's a line drive, and they catch it, like if the second baseman catches it.
So Robert's going to end the afternoon with 4 innings pitched, 7 strikeouts, 3 walks, 2 hits, and 1 run. That first one of De La Garza is going to get called for strike 1. De La Garza showing bunt again. Couldn't quite make contact. He's down the count now, 0-2. So Miller with the pitch. That one a big swing by De La Garza. No contact.
Okay, Jaime.
That's all right.
As he'll go down swinging for strike 3. Bullion now up to the plate as he checks over to third.
Go, Tommy!
Bullion struck out looking his last time at bat, back in the third. As he watches that one go by for strike 1. There's a fastball down the middle. Bullion just looking at that one. Gets called for strike 2.
Put that bat on that ball.
As he swings and gets a piece of that one.
On it.
So that one's going to go foul. Count stays 0-2, and Bullion will live to bat another pitch. As Welland is getting warmed up in the batter's circle, so we'll most likely see him next. Bullion gets another piece of that one. Count stays 0-2. Here's the 0-2 pitch. As that slider is going to go way outside for ball 1.
All right, Tommy, hang in there, kiddo.
And getting another piece of that one.
Stay it in there. You got
Bullion
it, Tommy.
working the pitch count now. Counts 1-2 still, but change of pace here for the Highlanders and for the Knights as well, as their pitch count for the 5th here is outthrown the pitch count for the Highlanders. That one's going to be high for ball 2. So counts even at 2-2. Miller
I guess he's had a bad pitch.
still trying to get warm there at the plate, or at the mound, excuse me. And a piece of that one's going to go behind us.
Tommy.
Count stays 2-2. Miller with the 2-2. Low and outside. Count's full now, 3-2 is Bullion.
Go, Tommy.
Down 0-2 in the count, brings it full with 1 out, no runners on. As he gets a piece of that one, it's going to go over short, drop right in front of center field. And he'll make his way to first with a single here for the Highlanders. With just 1 out here, bottom of the 5th, and up comes Wellen as he singled himself back in the 3rd.
All right, Bo.
Here we go.
Bo knows.
Taking a big swing at that one was Wallen. Doesn't quite make contact, goes for strike 1.
Quick bat, buddy. Quick bat.
Bullion over at first. Welland at the plate. So he looks at the pitch, swings and gets that one going towards left field. Left fielder getting underneath it, able to bring that in. As that was a nice hit, got a piece of it. There's not enough juice to get it over where he was going for. As Bullion we have to backtrack back to first. And top of the order due now here for the Highlanders is second baseman now, Carter. He's going to make his way up. Struck out looking back in the first and was walked in the 3rd. And with the runner on first, looking to keep things moving as that one was low and outside for ball 1. Carter waiting for it. That one was right over the middle. Counts even at 1-1.
You got it, buddy.
If Carter can make his way on base, Jarrett will be next to the plate. That one was low and in the dirt for ball 2. That one gets called for strike 2. Counts even at 2-2 now. As Bullion is still over at first, waiting for someone to bring him home. That one was just too high. It was a nice looking pitch though. A good job by Carter not to bite on that one. Counts full now, 3-2 with 2 outs and a 1 runner on. And Carter going to watch that one go, and just like in the 3rd, Carter will get walked over to first again.
All right, Christopher. Whack it, buddy.
Which brings up shortstop Jarrett, number 6, up to the plate. Runners on first and second. He popped out towards shortstop back in the 1st, and he was pegged by a pitch back in the 3rd. He was hit pretty hard in his side there. Took it like a champ, though. Put some dirt on it, and made his way over to first base. As the Knights take a quick time and have a discussion. 3rd baseman, your former pitcher Greenberg, up in the batter's circle now. So if Jarrett can make his way on base, Greenberg will get a chance to bring some runs home if he can. As the powwow at the mound is broken, Jarrett
Here we go, guys.
getting ready. Bullion over at second, Carter at first. As he waits for Miller's pitch. Takes a big crack at that one going to short. And the throw to first is not in time. It gets away from the first baseman. And across comes Bullion as Jarrett
Good job, Christopher.
will make his way over to second.
Keep it going.
Carter
All right, Mark.
will make his way to third. Bullion will come across from second for a score.
Runs. All right.
And here comes Greenberg. Greenberg taking a big swing there. Can't make
All
contact.
right, now you're ready.
Goes down to the count 0-1.
On that ball.
So 2 runners in scoring position now for the Highlanders. Greenberg at the plate. Highlanders still trailing though 8-2 here. Bottom of the 5th. Greenberg gets a piece of that one going towards second. Able to scoop it. There's a throw in time to first.
Try, guys.
And that'll be out number 3, but not before 1 run comes across. for the Highlanders. Rondetti will be due up next here to lead off at the top of the 6th.
Yep, top of the 6th.
And before he does, folks, we'll go ahead and take a quick break, and hopefully I can get you some stats on Greenberg, as I wasn't able to read any to you. But we'll be right back. You're listening to Highlander Baseball right here on Vype Live.
Vype Live, the leader in high school sports broadcasts. Wait, hold on just a moment. It's true that Vype Live, formerly KMAX Sports, excels at high school sports broadcasts, but did you know that Vype Live does more than sports? Vype Live does band recitals, academic events. For more information on how Vype Live can broadcast your event, email us at Vype, VYPE,
the Highlanders for the top of the 6th. Rondetti set to lead off for the Knights. Self will be right behind him, and then top of the order will be up with Penrod, batting 3rd here in the 6th. Greenberg with 4 innings pitched. I know we're a little inning late, but 4 innings pitched, 3 strikeouts, 3 walks, 6 hits, 3 errors, and the 8 runs you see. We're all going to go on Greenberg for that one. There's Rondetti. Makes his way up to the box. Harrell, a pretty decent showing back in the 5th, hoping to repeat here in the 6th.
Here you go, Marshall.
He didn't give up any hits, but did have an error, which allowed a runner to get on base. That first one's going to be chopped over towards Greenberg. Can't get a glove on it. It's going to go to left field. And Rondetti will make his way over on a single to lead off here in the 6th for the Knights. Blah. And I say he had given up a hit, and that's going to be the first one here for Harrell this afternoon. So number 16, Self, out next. Self was walked back in the 2nd. As Rondetti's going to go ahead and take off towards 2nd. Throw's not going to be in time by Suter. So he'll make his way over on a steal. So Self was walked back in the 2nd, and then he grounded out towards short back in the 4th. And here he is in the 6th with a runner in scoring position now after Rondetti was able to get the steal. There's a little chopper towards Harrell. Harrell with a throw to first in time. As Rondetti makes his way to 3rd, But that's going to be out number 1. So top of the order now is Penrod is going to make his way out. He's so far 2 for 3 after he singled in the 1st and the 4th and then flew out in the 2nd. So Rondetti able to make his way all the way around to 3rd now. So a runner in scoring position for the Knights with just 2 outs, as that one will be called for ball 1. Next pitch by Harrell is swung on and chopped behind for foul. That'll be strike 1. Counts even at 1-1 now. Miller, catcher, or I guess he's not the catcher anymore. Pitcher, Miller.
Yeah!
As that one is going to catch the plate for strike 2. Miller, pitcher, will be up next here for the Knights, right behind Penrod. Unless the Highlanders are able to pull something out a double. As that one was very high and inside. No contact made though, so that'll be called for ball 2. Counts even now at 2-2. Harrell with the quick pitch. Not getting the call he wants. Count goes full 3-2 now. As Penrod is hugging the plate now. Here's the full count pitch. And swung on and missed by Penrod. He'll go down swinging for out number 2.
Go, Marshall.
And Harold doing a good job of working his way out of a bind as he's 1 out away now from not allowing Ron Daddy to come across. Miller now, though, at the plate. As he swings at the first thing he looks at, going towards center field. And able to get to it is going to be Jarrett for out number 3. And a great job by the Highlanders defensively to get out of that one with stranding a runner for the Knights. And that's going to do it for the top of the 6th. So, top of the 6th down, bottom of the 6th underway. Remember, folks, we're going for 7 innings. Unless the 10-run rule was hit, it was not in the 5th, so we should keep on going. Werner will be due up first to lead off the 6th for the Highlanders. Harrell right behind him, followed by Matthews. Miller is going to be back on the mound. And holding on to that 8-2 lead are the Knights. All right. So before we keep going, let's do this day in baseball history, huh? Let's do a fun one. So back March 24th, 1933, Babe Ruth, the Babe, who made $75,000 last season, just 75 grand. That's all. Takes a $23,000 pay cut, which is a result of the Depression era. He's 38 years old, but he still remains productive. He's batting a .30, hitting 34 home runs, driving in 103 runs, and he's second place in the club that finishes 7 games behind the Senators. So back in 1933. So Werner makes his way over to the plate. Werner struck out swinging back in the 4th and grounded out towards short his first time at bat. As he awaits the first offering from Miller. And that one's going to be looked a little inside. Werner held off, but it's going to get called for strike 1. So here's the 0-1 pitch here for Werner. Slider to the outside. Count goes even, 1-1. That one's going to be a little too high. Werner gets ahead in the count now, 2-1. That one's going to hit the dirt in front of the plate. As Werner's worked way ahead, 3-1. See if he sits off on this next pitch and watches it through. Harrell will be due up next here as he's in the batter's circle. As you saw him on our camera run and get that foul ball, and taking a big swing was Werner. He liked what he saw but couldn't quite make contact. Count goes full, 3-2. So no outs. Bottom of the 6th. No runners on. And here's the full count. Slider outside, and off goes Werner to first base on the walk. So Harrell due up next. He was walked back in the 4th and grounded out towards short back in the 2nd. So far he's 0 for 1 on the afternoon. But a new pitcher he gets to face in Miller. So we'll see what he can do. And of course, the pitcher's duel, as Harrell is the pitcher right now for the Highlanders. First one goes in the dirt outside for ball 1. Low, and Abernathy loses it there, but Werner stays put over at first. It gets called for ball 2. Taking a big swing at that one was Harrell. He liked what he saw there.
Now you
Couldn't
ready?
quite make contact. Count goes 2-1. Here's the pitch, and getting a piece of it as Miller went up the ladder. Count goes even 2-2 here for Harrell. So Werner still on first. Harrell at the plate. Still no outs, and Highlanders trying to claw back from this 8-2 deficit they face against the Knights. As that one's too low. Count goes full 3-2.
Hey, Marshall.
Harrell's doing a good job of waiting for the pitch he wants. So here's the 3-2. As he gets that one towards left field, it's going to drop into the glove of the left fielder. As Werner has to make his way back. And that's going to be out number 1 here in the 6th. Werner still sitting tight over at first. That was a really good hit by Harrell. Looked like a liner towards left field, which right into the hands of the left fielder. Matthews now up as he watches that first one go for ball 1. Matthews struck out swinging back in the 2nd and flew out towards right field back in the 4th. So sitting at 0 for 2 as he gets that one. It's going to drop right in front of center field. That'll be a base hit as Werner will hang out at second. And Matthews gets the single.
Let's go, Sambo.
Suter due up next with 2 runners on, 1 out. As he awaits the first pitch from Miller. Taking a big crack at that one, can't make contact. Suter goes down on the count, 0-1.
You got it. Just get a stick on it.
Suter singled back in the 3rd and then struck out swinging back in the 4th, so sitting at 1 for 2 here this afternoon. As that one's going to hit the dirt, and Abernathy doing a good job of getting in front of it for the Knights and not letting it get past. As both runners, Werner and Matthews, took a little jump and then had to backtrack. Counts even at 1-1 now with 1 out. Suter thinking about it, decided to pull back. Didn't matter though, as that get called for strike 2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes here for Suter. And here's the pitch. Slider outside. Suter doesn't give. Counts even at 2-2. De La Garza due up next here for the Highlanders. He's in the batter's circle getting warm. As that one's going to be a little high, but it's going to drop in, and Suter's going to go down looking for out number 2.
Good try.
Let's go, Jack.
And a pinch hitter, Hornaday, is going to be in for De La Garza.
Good eye, good
As
eye.
he watches that one go by. And Abernathy's going to take a quick time. So counts 1-0, 2 outs. Runners on first and 2nd. And Hornaday at the plate. Abernathy makes his way back after talking with Miller at the mound. Werner at 2nd and Matthews at 1st. As Hornaday awaits the 1-0 pitch. Taking a swing at one that was in the dirt. Count goes even 1-1.
You got it, Jack.
You got it, Jack.
And a big swing by Hornaday. Can't make contact. He goes behind the count now, 1-2. And there's a hit as Hornaday makes contact with that one. It's high towards first, and Pop out towards first is going to be out number 3 as 2 runners are left stranded. No runs come across, so score stays 8-1. And one more inning now for the Highlanders to try and come back. Perfect. Boop. All right, folks, so we'll take a short break. We'll be right back for the 7th inning. You're listening to Highlander Baseball right here on Vype Live.
For high school sports coverage second to none, discriminating sports fans, booster clubs, and student bodies will tell you Vype stands above the rest. Vype can provide your school and your entire school district with complete digital video streaming and live broadcast coverage at prices that fit your budget. Find out more information at Vype, VYPE.com. VYPE.com. Vype Live, formerly KMAX Sports, one of the largest broadcast networks in Texas and the nation.
Check us out at Vype, VYPE.com.
Vype is the leader in high school sports broadcasts. We've been doing it for 15 years.
3-13. Not yet. Another reverse. Breaking tackles. Dives to the end zone. Touchdown, Rangers.
16 seconds. Really close in the corner. Rotates to Wilson. She fires the 3. Oh my God! It went in. Cavaliers pull ahead by 1.
Log on to Vype, VYPE.
Former pitcher Robert set to lead off here for the Knights. Abernathy will follow right behind him, followed by first baseman Kim. Knights with an 8-1 lead, 8-2 lead over your Highlanders, as Harrell is on the mound and looking to continue his outstanding pitching for a 3rd inning. Here's the first one here, and swung on and hit.
Heads up!
It's going to be high towards left. It's going to go over foul and bounce here behind us for strike 1. Robert was walked back in the first, popped out towards second in the second, and he reached on an error back in the 4th. There's no offering for that one. Count goes even, 1-1. Pitch from Harrell. Just been outside. Count goes 2-1. Way outside there. Count goes 3-1 as Harrell's behind now. Here to Robert.
Yeah.
That one is going to get called for strike 2. As Robert thought he had an easy walk, and he's going to have to trot his way back to the plate for one more. Full count now, 3-2. Harrell's worked his way back. As that one's going to be low and outside for ball 4. So Robert's going to make his way over to first on a walk. Abernathy is going to make his way to the plate now. He flew out towards center field in the 4th. Singled in the 2nd and was walked in the 1st. That one's going to go right over the plate as Abernathy watches it goes by for strike 1. That one's going to be fast and inside and will be called for ball 1. Counts even at 1-1. Abernathy had to do a quick shimmy to get out of the way of that one, as that one's going to get chopped foul.
One more now, Marshall.
It goes 1-2.
Got this guy.
So counts 1-2 here for Harrell as he's working his way out of the bind there. Nice throw. Doesn't get the strike called he was looking for. Count goes even 2-2. As Robert Had to work his way back with Suter jumping up, ready to throw him out over at first. As Robert takes off towards second. Beautiful throw by Suter is brought in by Carter.
Good try, guys.
Unfortunately, it was dropped as Robert slid into second, so he'll be called safe on the steal. And counts now full 3-2. There's a little grounder towards third. Out at first is in time as Greenberg with a nice throw for out number 1. So Robert's going to touch up and make his way over to third. Kim up to the plate now with one runner in scoring position and just 1 out. First pitch is in the dirt for ball 1.
Come on, Marshall, let's do this.
Pitch is going to be high. It's going to drop right over the strike zone for strike 1. Counts even at 1-1 here for Kim. With Robert over at third base. Harrell with the 1-1. Taking a big hit is Kim. It's going to go towards left field. And getting their knee is Hornaday as...
Nice.
Way to go, Jack!
Oh, man, Robert was about a third of the way there, and he got called back immediately by the third base coach. As that fly out over to Hornaday at left field is going to be out number 2, and here comes Miller, left field for the Knights. He singled back in the first, lined out towards first base in the third, and then singled in the fifth. As that first pitch by Harrell is going to be outside and in the dirt for ball 1. So 2 outs. Robert over in scoring position at third, and there's a little bouncer towards Harrell at the mound. We'll throw to first
Way to go, guys!
in time,
Play, guys.
and that's going to be out number 3.
Okay, we need 6 to tie.
Let's get 6, guys.
So Highlanders will get one more crack at this one now, folks, as they still trail 8-2 here at the bottom of the 7th. Bullion set to lead off for the Highlanders, followed by Welland. Then top of the order due up. Miller going to be on the mound here for the Knights. We'll go ahead and take one more short break as Miller finishes to get warm. We'll be right back. You're listening to Highlander Baseball right here on Vype Live.
For high school sports coverage second to none, discriminating sports fans, booster clubs, and student bodies will tell you Vype stands above the rest. Vype can provide your school and your entire school district with complete digital video streaming and live broadcast coverage at prices that fit your budget. Find out more information at Vype, VYPE.com. VYPE.com.
Academy Sports and Outdoors. As Bullion gets set for the first pitch, he watches that one go by for strike 1. That one's going to be hit, a grounder towards short. Throw to first is barely in time. He will be out number 1.
go, Bray.
Number 26 up to the plate. I don't have him on my roster. Everyone's yelling Bray, so we're going to call him Bray. This will be his first time at bat. Southpaw batter looking to face off against Miller. First pitch.
Good eye.
It'll be ball one. Second pitch for Bray is going to be hit and shot foul behind us. Count goes 1-1. That one's going to be a slider. It's going to go inside. Count goes 2-1 here for Bray. That one's going to be a little outside. Count goes 3-1. So Bray now ahead of the count. See if he sits tight on this next pitch or if he takes a rip at it. Because here's the 3-1. He lets it go, and it's going to get called for strike two. Count goes full 3-2. That one's going to be outside.
That's full, isn't it? That's walk.
That should be ball four.
Bray.
Well, that was four, and the crowd says that was four, but we're not going to say that was four, apparently. And that's going to be four as that one hits the dirt. And Bray will make his way over after being walked.
Yeah. Security ball. Go, buddy!
I think that was a mulligan. We'll call that a mulligan pitch. As our umpire's going to switch out game balls real quick. Top of the order now coming up as Carter is going to make his way out to the plate. He was walked his last two times at bat and then struck out looking back in the first. Bray over at first base now. Still trailing 8-2. And just one out. And we are set to resume now with one out, one runner on, and Carter at the plate, Miller at the mound. Keeping his eye on Bray over at first base. Here's the pitch. Slider outside. Carter watches that one go by for ball one.
Go, buddy!
There comes the second pitch for Carter. Same thing, slider outside. Carter's ahead in the count now, 2-0. With just one out. That one's going to be inside, and that will get called for strike one, though. Carter still ahead, the count 2-1.
You got it, buddy.
Whack it, buddy.
That one's inside again. Gets called for strike two. Counts even now, 2-2 for Carter.
Got a wide
As it looks like Miller found a sweet spot on the inside. Instead, Carter going to take a hack at that one towards center field. It's high and brought in by the center fielder. For out number 2.
Go, Christopher. Good shot, Reese.
Good job, buddy.
Way to get the bat on the ball.
So Bray over at first. Jarrett now up at the plate. As the Knights are one more out away from coming out with a win over your Highlanders. As they're still trying to claw back, trailing 8-2. That was going to be popped up by Jarrett under the second baseman and brought in the pop out for out number 3. And that'll do it. Our final here at Yeager Field. Highlanders are going to drop one, your junior varsity team, to the Regents Knights by a score of 8-2. And that's going to do it for me here this afternoon, folks. I'm going to get you guys some info really quick before I leave. 2 more games left here in the season for the junior varsity that we have on schedule, and that's really important. It's on schedule. So just keep an eye out online, but we'll be looking at facing up against the Texans homeschool team on April 1st. That's a Thursday with a 5 p.m. first pitch. And then that following Thursday, April 8th, we'll take them on again here at both games again at Yeager Field, both times at 5 o'clock. Varsity team, though, still has a few more left as their next matchup, their set of matchups, if you will be away on Saturday the 27th. First one's going to be a noon first pitch against John Cooper Dragons. The second will be at 4 o'clock on that same Saturday, this Saturday coming up, against Houston Episcopal. Then we'll have some matches on Wednesday the 31st against St. Dominic Savio, followed by a long break. But we'll get to meet up with the Kincaid School on April 9th at another away game. Until next time, folks, though, this is AJ Arelva. I want to thank you all for listening. We will catch you again. We appreciate you listening to this Highlander baseball broadcast right here on Vype Live.